Hello, this is the LEGO City 2023 4x4 Off-Roader Adventures set. It comes with a total of 252 pieces, and I built it live over on my Twitch channel. It cost me $30 US, 30, and you can find it tagged on this video. This truck looks weird, but definitely fun, and for me, completely outside of the intended age range for this thing, child of the 70s, raised in the 80s, I see so much 80s inspiration in the livery here, the color scheme for it. This is a sticker right here, but I love it so much. There's so much good there, so I'm definitely biased in favor of that. I'm not biased in favor of the overall layout of this, the kind of truggy style, sort of independent suspension, rock crawler thing, Formula Off-Road, King Hammer's Ultra 4. I don't know exactly what they're going for here, but it does play very nicely. The suspension is like crazy. The stuff that it can do. Sorry, I just saw hair. Got to get rid of it. So dog hair there. But yeah, I mean, this thing has some crazy articulation. It's not able to hold a pose. Not able to hold a mall crawler pose on its own. But if you removed one of the rubber bands, you could get it to do that. But most importantly, hands-on, driving it over stuff. It's going to go over the stuff, and it feels pretty good. You can do this all day. It's just a little bit stiff is all the suspension is, but the play is totally there. You can lean it in turns, although it is a little bit difficult to get it to turn because these tires do have a lot of traction, which in some cases is a good thing. Some cases not such a good thing. When it comes to turning this, you kind of have to lift it up a little bit. But if you have it on the side of an incline like this, it's not going to slide down. I think it's better to have the good rubber here than to not overall. This actually has a number of clips on the outside. So there's one here to hold on to a minifig accessory. There's one here to hold on to a minifig accessory. And then there are a couple back here to hold on to some things as well. This can come down, old piece here. That can come down, and here's what's intended to go there. Mountain bikes. A pair of them. That's great. Yes. Be able to take the extra stuff, the other stuff in the set with you. I always want to see that. And again, you got extra connectors on the sides and some extra space back here. You can throw a couple of included helmets back there, some of the other stuff that you take along for camping. And the cab does hold two figures. Doesn't have a window in the back. So you just kind of have to imagine the window is down or something like that. A little bit of additional space behind there also. And yeah, it just fits two figures in tandem, one in front of the other. Really simple there. Probably could have used, for each of these spaces, it would have required a little bit of readjustment to heights of things, but 2x2 with only two studs so that legs don't attach quite as well to the surface there, because when you have four studs, sometimes you'll get into a situation where you'll try to pick up a figure and the legs will stay behind. Didn't work that time because I didn't push it all the way, but sometimes it's better to have fewer studs than too many, but that's definitely a nitpick. All in all, stuff is pretty good here. Just looks weird to me, but it's primarily designed for the sake of play and does a pretty good job of that. And it was pretty easy to put together as well for kids who are not on the oldest end. This is a fair selection of other stuff for a set that's just about a truck. You already saw the bikes, and you get the orange frame here with the white wheels and the dark blue frame, which we already had with the orange wheels. I want every color and every frame in those. There's just something about collecting bike stuff. Little campfire here. It's just the simplest thing, but it has the tiniest flame on it and a shovel to make sure that you put that out thoroughly when you're done. You can also do some cooking, although you can't do cooking on the flame. You have to hold this above the flame with a figure. Before I show you the tent, just the terrain stuff here is simple, but it definitely feels very arid and kind of natural to me. You got you got some stuff that you can jump over. If this hair wasn't here, you can do some jumps here and jump over there. It feels like it's out in Utah somewhere or something like that. Just to me personally, rather green here, but I'm assuming that represents a cactus because it's very prickly. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm using my imagination here. It's allowed. Dark blue colored scorpion, and the hair is, we've seen that a number of times before. but here it's just in the medium nougat, which I think is a good generic color for it. The tent is an unexpected build, unexpectedly simple though, but you know what? It's effective. It definitely reads as a tent, even if it is a little bit on the stiff side, and it gives you easy access to the interior, which is pretty important. Unfortunately, these sleeping bags are just stickers on white tiles. I feel like something a little bit better than that could have been done. Figures cannot attach directly to these. You cannot suggest the figures being underneath the sleeping bags. There are a number of things that don't work here, but at the very least, it is a tent that, like I said, clearly looks like a tent. And, you can put the figures in there and just, you kind of have to do a little bit of suspension of disbelief. And they're sleeping now. That's fine. It's okay. The torso prints and color schemes for these minifigures are very fitting, almost too fitting, but I'll 100% allow it. They're usable, for a lot of different things. They're just kind of generic, but they absolutely fit in this space, in this scenario. And I mean, I could easily have seen that on the shelf in the early 1980s. This one too, but this one especially is just, I can see it being a puffy jacket, maybe even a reversible one, They've really nailed the graphic design here, and even a decent print around the back goes for both of them. Plus, these helmets are included for when they're out riding. Here are the leftover parts, including an extra light cover print. It's the same design as the original one that they came out with, but this is just a different color scheme for the same graphic design. And this is what the sticker sheet looked like. The price of $30 US, 30 euros, or 25 pounds UK feels perfectly reasonable to me. This is easily a $20 vehicle right here, especially when you include in the supplementary vehicles and then the rest of the stuff. It adds up. It adds up just fine. If you can find it on discount, great. If you'd like to see it at a discount, I completely understand, but I think that the suggested retail price is fine. Overall, a fun set, introduces some nice build concepts. I don't think I'm going to get over how weird and unrealistic of a design the truck is, just because of the positions of the tires relative to everything else, but everything else is good and makes sense and triggers a little bit of nostalgia for me. You get some small animals. There's a lot of good here. So yes, this is good, and it plays well. It's very, very important as well for the intended audience, which is generally not people watching these videos. It's the younger siblings and kids and grandkids and nephews and nieces and such of people watching these videos. So thank you for watching. I hope that you got some useful information for you, and I'll talk to you again soon.